Should be of no surprise to any of you that I am a huge Warhammer 40k fan. What started out as a minor interest in college has spiraled out of control. Now my brother and I are both nuts on the subject, and I have now a mini painting backlog. But as Raven has started to dip back into Warhammer 40k content, a few people have asked why I haven't done any of the videos or why I haven't voiced in any of the videos. And simply put, this is because I was prepping my own 40k project. But since the channel hit 40k subs a while ago, and back even when Space Marine 2 was dropped, I had already been planning to do something along the lines of 40k. But as I was trying to figure out what 40k content I could do, I started to think, what is it about 40k, one of the things I enjoy most? And one of those things is, of course, Homebrew. So 40k is really cool about letting you do Homebrew in terms of like creating your own armies. We have 2 entire legions redacted from Imperial records so that us nerds can have a chance to homebrew our own legions and Primarchs. I myself have actually even created a homebrew Chaos Warband called the Hellhounds. But as I look for inspiration when creating homebrew, I often look for what Games Workshop hasn't already done themselves or hasn't really touched on much. And one of the things I've noticed in most of their inspirations is that they have very little to do with the United States.
I am shocked! Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
This isn't really shocking as, well, Games Workshop is a British company. But we do have a lot of representation from other historical regions, like Germany, Britain, Scandinavia, Russia, and even the occasional French connection. But the only direct reference I can think of that relates to the United States are the Catachan Jungle Fighters, which, don't get me wrong, that's awesome, but that's more of a reference to 80s action heroes like Rambo than it is America as a whole. Which, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could see America a little bit more represented in the 40k galaxy? Which has led me to develop this project, the 50 States of 40k. This will be a large-scale homebrew project. I'm going to go over all 50 states in America and create a homebrew army for each of them in the 40k galaxy. This will vary from Space Marine chapters, Imperial Guard, Chaos Warband, Sister of Battle Orders, and maybe even the odd Adeptus Mechanicus Forge world. So in summary, I'm going to be taking the history and culture of a state and making a homebrew 40k army based off of it. The first one will be based off of my home state of South Carolina. But beyond that, we're going to start putting it to a vote. So let me know down in the comments section what states you're most looking forward to see being put into 40k. I'll see you next time.